See you soon. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, a final presentation before we go into a break. We are slightly behind schedule, but that's no issue. We will recover this during that, and we'll start again in the second part at 3:15 Central European Summer Time, to be exact. And I would now like to invite Leah Chevry, our founding partner of today. Thanks again for that.
Thanks, Jan.
And of course, in this challenging world, we always have new services, new elements that hopefully could help. And I think Czech also has a view on how the challenges can be overcome in a certain area. And I think you're going to talk about the time to market optimization. So all yours, Leah. Thanks.
Thanks indeed. Um, I think, just as Philip said earlier, that UV are there for good and the market is not going to change. And this is why we have to see the limits of probably the used car supply and how we can manage this supply. For those who don't know Tchek or myself, so I'm Leah, co-founder of Tchek. Tchek is the European leader in adaptable visual intelligence, so AI adapted to images for mobility. We have about 10 countries in Europe and UAE and 3 million inspection per year. We go from logistics sector to UV marketplaces and, of course, rental car industry, leasing as well. The main question will be, how can artificial intelligence be a response to those challenges of time to market? And what are the main solutions that we can find? The main challenge is the acceleration, what we call time to market optimization, how to be more dominant and keep moving faster quickly. Many question has been raised even in the chat today with other person as well today. Do we have the demand to support the UV that we would like? What are the methods that we could use? And as well, what are the opportunities for all of us? We have seen during the this beginning of the year, end of last year, that pricing of used car has some complexity, since we have a lack of used car and a high risk of drop in UV pricing when NV returns. So that's one of the main challenges that we see. Focusing on the evolution of UV, evolution costs at distance, what will be the impact of no more than the pandemic, but also the different world that we see, the shift of the manufacturers as well in their business model. And last but not least, what and how will marketplaces influence the market, and how can we use them as partners? How can we use marketplaces as partners? Those are the main questions that we raise. And as for challenges, traditional model has and is being disrupted, that's for sure. Cost availability, customer demand, retail's landscape as well, not only for manufacturers, and evolution of the market. So we have here three main challenges that we have kind of pre-selected on how we think that there might be a chance of our use. The first one will be how to reinvent evolving warehouse. Warehouse are traditional, that's for sure. Lots of innovation have been tested, implemented. But now that we have some new marketplaces that have as well raised and earned a lot of money, how can all of us help have warehouse more innovative? So how to optimize cost with it? Second main challenge will be to source the largest number of UV. Since we know that's the main goal, how to anticipate and probably buy more remote. This is one of the challenges that we are the most solicited about, how to buy remote and have a clear vision of a price remotely. And last but not least, how to reduce that time to market to ensure more transparency, to ensure that we have the life cycle that has changed. We know the competition is harder and harder. So how to upstream even faster. And since the landscapes of upstream change very much those last years, how could we help? So we have a quick video to summarize what we do. We capture images from any device. For our solutions will be hardware or an app. Then we analyze all those images, the quality of the pictures, the blurriness, brightness. We localize all the damages presented on the car, exterior parts, identify the severity and the price. We now have reached a high level of detection, and that data is classified depending on the repairs. As for that, you have a report that is highly recommended to exchange or upstream, since we want to have it faster. So this is how we think those three main challenges that we have been selecting could be helpful. The first goal will be to use the app to have one solution for the entire process remotely. So with just a smartphone, you take all the pictures of the vehicle, and then you have a clear idea of all the information that you'd like. This is AI helping with the process in its all way, quality process, but also for damages and pricing. Then we have the automatization on site of your marketplaces, on site of your warehouse. We have the app and the scanner. The scanner will be used for all of those who have a warehouse that have high volume refurbishment centers, because there's more cars to be passed per day. And then this is why we think that from valuation to reselling, we have more volume for AI to be treated. For those who wonder, now, okay, this is AI. What are the use really in our digital places? There's different types of use cases and different types of partners that we have, customers that we have during the all disrupting revolution of the remarketing cycle. Distant takeover. This is where you have your end user or your warehouse taking the pictures of the car. The customer can also do it himself. We have the help of the AI to do so. So it's distant takeover. Some customer have the ability to do that only. Then we have others who do that for the logistic parts, much more for UV takeover, UV logistics. Then we have validation of all the damages estimations for much more reconditioning centers or repair centers. So those are more local evaluation, not remote. 1 and 2 are remote, 3 are more local. Vehicle local evaluation is for any customer that would like a quotation of the car. Would that be on site or not? This could be digital as well. And last part of this cycle, since we know remarketing is going under a revolution, the revolution as well in terms of time to market will be to reuse all those different steps that we have from 1 to 4 for the remarketing process, and to have the reselling time faster. So the goal will be to reuse the pictures and to have directly the selling process. And those are more customers that we have that are retailing as well. So there's many way of using our solution, our AI, depending on the data that you have, depending on the images that you'd like to have. And of course, COVID has pushed by far the changes, but all the challenges are now for good now. The revolution is for long term, whether it be life cycle that has changed, retention that has changed, upstreaming that has changed. So some uses differently. We have one example as well. This is a reconditioning center.
Ah là, attends, elle est passée si vite qu'il n'y a pas besoin de l'arrêter plus au contrôle, j'ai dû demander.
The car is driving
Fred,
through.
il y a un truc que j'ai pas compris. Vous êtes passé à toute vitesse, il n'y a pas besoin qu'elle s'arrête pour le scannage de la voiture? Pas du tout, la vitesse maximum de passage, je crois que c'est 5 km/h. Ah bah alors explique-nous ce que c'est alors, parce que là pour le coup, nous ça nous a fascinés tout à l'heure. Donc en fait, c'est un scanner qui s'appuie sur de la technologie.
So there is different types of cameras, different types of cars. We've added remarketing cameras as well to take pictures at the same
positionner des faisceaux de lumière sur la carrosserie. Et en fait, au passage, s'il y a une déviation dans le faisceau, ça montre qu'il y a une déformation sur la carrosserie. Et toute la difficulté, elle réside dans le fait que le portique soit en capacité de détecter ce qui est une déformation normale et ce qui ne l'est pas. Le scan voit des choses que nous, on ne voit pas. C'est ça. Alors, c'est quoi les règles?
So those are types of valuation that we can have.
On a une règle pour commencer le véhicule, pour pas partir dans tous les sens. Quand même, on a un cours bien à respecter pour pas s'éparpiller. Sinon, on peut aller à droite, on revient à gauche. Donc,
so this impacts the performance of the refurbishment centers on how to optimize the time spent on the body work inspection, how to professionalize with different steps that he explained during the video. Sorry that I was in French. So the type of process and the remarketing process using both at the same time remarketing pictures and inspection. So inspection pictures quite close, remarketing picture quite far, and how to easily adapt the activity since this is automated, so the flow can be higher. So in terms of statistics, there's a lot of cars can pass by 12 seconds between each cars, about 50 seconds, so 1 minute to have a report. The detection rate is now highly effective with a few false positives per car, and there's more than 100 cars that can pass per hour. So this is an example of refurbishment center that has high volume and high performances. So the main use cases have been explained. The question could be, how could we help you? As Philip said, and I think everyone agrees on that, remarketing is under revolution. That's for sure. Competition is harder. Life cycle changed. Retention changed. Stocks change as well. What are the next pricing of UV? Who knows? Will be very lucky. And upstream highly changed. And since we have more attention for the end customer, we definitely need new types of innovation. And we think that the online demand, remote buying and selling process that we work in our daily day are there for good, are there forever. And we more than ever would need to remote solutions, industrial solutions as well, both the app and the scanner, to help the groups answer the challenges that we've seen today for whereas evolving challenges or challenge of the buying process. I'll be happy to answer other questions. Thanks, Joan, for the invite today. And I was very happy to join.
No problem. Thanks a lot for your support. And I think beginning of last year, I think the first expert track was about the almost introduction at the point of time of artificial intelligence, and it's really changing the whole the marketing. Just for your information, I will show it at the end as well for all the attendees. We will have a specific update on all of this artificial intelligence in data and also in inspection and in online sales in a remarketing expert track in September. So you will certainly hear much more about this in a few months. Okay, thanks, Leah. Thanks a lot. And this moves us into a break. A break that will keep as planned. We're only 5 minutes over schedule, so it won't be as you see on the screen, because that's a picture from the break last year at the remarketing forum. But of course, you can join the remarketing forum in November in Ireland, Dublin. So see you back at a 3:15 Central European summertime. Thanks. See you then.